Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all.
All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It was like you could hear it all throughout the store.
This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? Alright, you guys, first story up. I am mad at myself because I did not put it in my notes. I mean, I did put a little bit in my notes and I was supposed to go back and add more to it, and I did not. So this story is going to be off at the top of my head, but I wanted to make this the first story. The story is going to be about Puffy and his $100 million defamation lawsuit that he has against NBC Universal. Okay, now NBC Universal recently put out a documentary called Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, I believe. And in the documentary, they were talking about all of the things really that have been rumored, that we've been talking about over the years, that Puffy, have been involved with the abuse of these women, but it had taken a step further and kind of linked Puffy to these former murders and deaths that we know of, that we may have been told in the past were caused by something else. Now in this documentary, from what I understand, they were making it seem like Puffy was the reason that these people died. And I'm talking about not just Biggie, but Heavy D, Kim Porter, of course, even Tupac, and even though we've heard stories about people trying to link him to this, there has never been anything substantiated that he actually was indeed involved. So it was interesting to me that NBC Universal would even put out a documentary like this, when, not saying that it didn't happen, but up until now, there's been no proof, and it's really just hearsay. Okay. But NBC, sometimes when you put out a documentary like that, people look at it, and the same way a lot of people will just believe anything that's on the internet, a lot of people also will believe a documentary, because people have the mindset of thinking that if a documentary is getting put out, that all of the stories have been vetted out, and that they fact checked and all that to make sure that they're giving you the right information. And that's not always the case. Okay, sometimes documentaries are just what people say and not necessarily based on fact. So they put that documentary out. I guess NBC was just more concerned about the immediate the immediate look that they would get, which was that many people were going to watch this because this is such a big story right now. So, they're going to get the views and they're going to get all of that. But after the views is done, it seems like you would think about the fact that we probably going to get sued. $100 million is a whole lot of money. Okay. But I feel like Puffy might have a case there, because if we ain't proved nothing, and if none of these stories come about in the actual federal case, then, it might just be NBC telling lies on him, So there is that. But apparently in the documentary, they talked about also Al B. Sure, and claiming that there was a book that was written. And then, of course, all of the drama that's happened with that man and his lawyer, who actually put out an unauthorized biography on Amazon, which just looks like it was AI generated, But anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that Puffy and his team feel that is, that stories that are just being put out there that are just flat out lies. Because I guess in the documentary, they were talking about him killing people and him having sex with minors and all that, and none of that has been proven, So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Like I told you guys last time, his case starts May 5th, I think, or somewhere around Cinco de Mayo. And we'll get we'll finally find out what exactly are they even presenting in this case, because we still don't know. There's been so much stuff that's been put out. Tony Busby has definitely muddied the waters with his 130 people that he's now claiming he is going to be filing cases for. So like, I don't even know what parts of these stories have been sensationalized, what parts are we supposed to believe that is true. I mean, I'm still sticking to the original stories, which was Cassie's, Don's, and even oh girl from Danity Kane recently speaking out, you know, and even parts of the story that the Rodney kid, Lil Rod, had put out. I'm more inclined to believe their stories than some of these other stories that have been going around. So again, once the federal case gets started, we'll have a better idea of what we are even working with. Okay. And in the meantime, NBC, I mean, I guess they better, I mean, it's going to be we're going to see what happens there. And when I know more, I'll let you guys know more. Let's move on to the next story. All right, you guys, I guess we can call this a congratulations. It's not really a congratulations because SONYA Massey is no longer here, okay? But it is a congratulations in the sense that her family is finally getting some justice and getting, you know, for lack of better words, they got a settlement because their loved one was killed in cold blood, if you ask me, by somebody that was employed by the Sangamon County. I think there was a police department in Sangamon County. Sangamon, can I say it? Sangamon. Ashley, how you say the shit? Sangamon County, Illinois? Yeah. You guys remember the story? SONYA Massey had called the police. She was there one night with her 2 young children, and she was concerned. She felt like somebody was trying to get into her property, getting into her apartment. So she had called the police for help. When the police got there, you know, apparently they looked around the perimeter. They didn't see anything, what she thought might be happening. And so when they went in there to assure her that nothing was wrong, I still can't explain to you what happened. I mean, to me, it just looked like this damn police officer went fully rogue, wanted to kill somebody that day and did it. Okay, because one minute they were talking and the next thing you know, he was accusing her of threatening to throw some boiling hot water on him, which she never said or did. So all of a sudden he was just like, you know, put that water down, put that down, you know, or I'm gonna shoot you in your face. And no sooner than he finished saying that damn sentence, he done shot the lady in her face and killed her. Okay? And she was like hiding behind like a little part of the wall. Like, I'm so sorry, officer. I didn't mean to, you know, startle you or scare you. And he still shot and killed her. Okay? So, cold blood. This woman wasn't going to do nothing. And that man was not threatened in any kind of way. He even tried to turn around to his partner who had his body cam on. The guy who killed SONYA did not have on his camera, but his partner did. And he tried to convince the partner that she had did something to make him feel threatened. But even the partner was just sort of like, it didn't seem like that's what she was doing. Okay. Long story short, they did charge him with 1st-degree murder. He was fired, obviously, and all that. But I was just like, no, he needs to be charged and thrown in jail, found guilty and thrown in jail, because we all saw the way that played out. So it does make me feel better that this family got some money for it, because I done told y'all plenty of times, I don't have a problem with people getting money for, you know, when their loved ones is killed or something at the hands of a person, place, or thing that actually has a lot of money that can pay up. If they have it, then damn it, give it to the people. Okay? Because, you know, yes, we can't bring that person back. However, you can pay me for my troubles for sure. I don't have no problem with that. I think that's perfectly fine. Okay? So for those who might feel like $10 million was like them selling out they family member, I don't feel that way. I think that they probably deserve more than that. Okay, because there's no amount, there's no price that you can put on the life of somebody. Yeah, you guys, that is that. Sean Grayson, he's the person that actually shot and killed her. He is awaiting trial, from what I understand. Andy Van Meter, who is the Sangamon board chair, Sangamon County board chair, he released a statement, and it said, no price can be paid to take back the actions of a rogue former deputy, but this agreement is an effort to provide some measure of recompensation to the Massey family for their unimaginable loss. Okay, the county remains committed to working with the community to strengthen policies to try to make sure tragedies like this never happen again. Okay, and I was like, yeah, make sure that shit don't. It's just too bad that there's, you know, you got people that are hired to protect and to serve, and then this is the shit that they do. So I'm not, you know, I don't feel bad for Sangamon County. I feel like this was the least that they can do for what they did to that woman and her family. These kids are motherless now. The mother of Sonya is daughterless right now, you know, and I just, so yes, I'm perfectly fine with that 10 million. Okay, I hope that it brings some sort of happiness back to the family, you know, after they've lost so much already. Okay. All right, that's it on that story, baby. We're gonna move on to the next. Google. They say that Google has removed Black History Month, Pride Month, and other cultural events from its calendar. And they're saying it's because it was too many holidays and events to keep up with. Now, of course, that sounds like bullshit to me, because Black History Month has been a thing. It's not nothing new. I will admit that there are a lot of new created, you know, it's be like, oh, today is National Coffee Drinking Day. Or, oh, today is, you know, National Take your dog to the park day. Or today is National Toothpaste Day. It'd be all kind of crazy days. But, so I'm not talking about them kind of days. Yes, there's too many of those. But Black History Month has been a thing since 1970, the year that I was born. Okay. It used to be a week-long thing, but then they changed it to a month-long thing, and it has been recognized for the most part since 1970. So 54 years it's been just fine. I don't know why Google felt like they need to at least remove Black History Month. Okay, to me, them removing it is just another way of them confirming that they are going along with the DEI policies, or the removal of DEI policies, I should say. They say that they removed these cultural events last year. I think that they did it quietly last year in anticipation that this whole DEI, that once YSAP got into office, that DEI was going to be done away with. I mean, we already knew that it was happening. They were already talking about getting rid of affirmative action and all that, and DEI policies. So Google did it back then so that they wouldn't look like they were doing it now that election has happened and YSAP is in office and all that. But so Google is now saying like, oh, we have to do it because that is what the current administration, our federal government, you know, we are contracted by the government, so we have to do what the administration, the current administration says, okay? And so YSAP says, get rid of all of that shit, and so that's what they did. Google also changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Now, we all giggled about that when YSAP was talking about it at his swearing in at the inauguration. Even Hillary Clinton did a little giggle. But who laughs last here? Because Google went and changed, for those that are looking from America anyway, from America's standpoint, it does say Gulf of America now. Now, if you are anywhere else in the country, I mean in the world, when you look at the map on Google, it'll say Gulf of Mexico. But if you are here in the States, it's going to say Gulf of America, because that is what YSAP has told Google to do. And something about that just sounds so weird to me. Just like, what? So if the motherfucker told you to jump off the damn building too, is that what y'all about to do, Google? It's just like, how do you change the name of a Gulf that's been that? I mean, I don't know who named it or how long it's been that, but it's been long. It's been Gulf of Mexico for as long as I've known it, yeah. But maybe that don't mean shit, and maybe that don't matter. I think that Google is, let's see, I don't want to get too, you know. Google pays me because Google owns YouTube, and YouTube is what I do, okay? So we ain't trying to piss the people off so they put Rocky off the channel and shit, but it just Google. Now, y'all know that was chicken shit. Y'all know that was chicken shit. Okay, y'all could have left Black History Month on there, Pride Month. They say that they also removed, let me give you a list, Hispanic Heritage Month, Pride Month, Jewish American Heritage Month, and Holocaust Remembrance Day. Okay, but it wasn't just the black people. All right, they're getting rid of all of that. I tell you. I don't even know if we're going to recognize our country in these next 4 years. After these next 4 years, how so much stuff is going to change. And if they going to have to be making a list of shit that they want to bring back. Because this nigga is cutting and slashing and chopping away everything. Ain't he? Okay. Just letting y'all know, Google out there on that bullshit too. It's going to be interesting. Was that wasn't really politics. That really wasn't politics. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it. I don't feel like it was, y'all. Moving on to the next story. All right, you guys, so let's do a couple of little updates on the Super Bowl, since there were some parts of the Super Bowl that I forgot. You guys know it's hard when you be real excited about something and you trying to make sure you keep all of the topics there so that you can express them all. Then when you get on camera, you know, in the excitement of everything else, I forget things. So I want to make sure that I talk about one. Let's talk about just how great this Super Bowl number 59 was. They say that Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance was watched by 133.5 million people. They say that his Super Bowl halftime performance show is the second most watched event that has ever happened in the history of TV in the United States. Okay, the only thing that trumped this event was when we landed on the moon. And now you guys know that there's all this controversy over whether or not we actually even landed on the fucking moon when we say that we did. Okay, so I don't even know if you can count that. I mean, you can still, because everybody was still watching, but they said that was the only event that there were more people that were watching. And so yeah, amazing. For people who said that they did not like the, I know MAGA was going on and on about how they didn't like it. And, you know, YSAP said it was the worst halftime performance ever. I had forgot that YSAP was even there. That actually brought me even more happiness, knowing that Kendrick just kind of thumbed his nose and gave him one of these, y'all. One of these. The establishment was sitting right there in the Super Bowl. Even though they could have maybe watched it from the comfort of their home, it just gives me an extra level of love for Kendrick that he had the balls enough to do that while they were all sitting there in the actual stadium, you know? So I'm glad about that. Also, you guys, I would be remiss if I did not ask Serena about this, because I just could not believe that I forgot to talk about Serena in my Super Bowl review. Did you guys watch the review? If you haven't, go watch it. But yeah, I forgot to put in there the fact that Drake had two exes that were performing in the SZA and Serena. His relationship with SZA was when they were young, so we didn't know much about it. But when Serena and Drake, I remember a time when they were messing around and trying to, you know, we would see them together and all this. So they did have some sort of relationship together. It did not go any further. Not sure what exactly happened, but we do know that Drake has trolled Serena over the years since, because he is salty. You know, he don't easily break up with women. Okay, it's a lot of women that he used to be fucking around with, and now they just be like, yeah, we don't fuck with Drake. And remember when Drake and J-Lo was even kind of doing a little something for a hot minute there? That nigga been around. He been around. Okay, and for the most part, it looks like most of the women that he's been with, they don't really fuck with him no more like that. So he's been mean to Serena, so this was kind of her get back. On top of that, we know that Serena's also from Compton, you know, and that he mentioned Serena in the song. And you know what? Also, I didn't realize that Serena had gotten a lot of flack about doing the Crip Walk when she had won that Wimbledon championship game or match, whenever that was, back 2013 or something like that, when she won and she did the little Crip Walk thing. Apparently, the tennis world was upset about that. I had no idea. Okay, so she also did that to kind of like give a one of these to the to the tennis community, the people that had a problem with her doing something that was from her own personal community that she grew up in, you know. So it was just like two reasons. And that was pretty much how the whole Super Bowl halftime show went. It was always more than one reason why things was happening, or things that we were seeing. You know, there were all these different connections. So yeah, but it was good to see Serena up there in her very extremely thin self. She's lost a lot of weight too, and that might just be because she's not as athletic as she used to be. She's not really playing any longer. She did mention that she was coming back, but I don't know if she really is truly coming back. So yeah, that's it about the Super Bowl, you guys. I'm telling you, today on my way to work, I heard 4 Kendrick Lamar songs from GNX. They just play him. They playing the hell out of him. Now it's not like us no more. Now it's reincarnated. Now it's Luther, which Luther was already in rotation pretty heavily. Now it's TV off. And then I also heard Not Like Us. So they playing the hell out of Kendrick. Again, this man can't lose right now. It is definitely his time. It is definitely his time. I wonder how he feels with this, because he doesn't look like the type that really likes a lot of attention, but when he sets out to get it, then he gets it, but when he don't want it, he don't want it. I wonder, because this ride, he's been riding this wave for a minute now. I'm just wondering how much longer, you know, before he be like, all right, enough of this shit. Okay, once he gets through this tour, I'm sure, you know, he'll move on. But and then, did you guys see that DJ Mustard was in the interview, and they were talking about, you know, what Drake would need to do to just get back on track? And I was like, Mustard said the same thing I said, which was, if Drake would have just left this whole beef alone and just started making music again and kind of almost ignoring Kendrick instead of feeding into it, okay, and getting yourself caught up in it, then he probably would have done better. That lawsuit definitely was like the nail in the coffin, and now everybody is just sort of like just hammering it in. Everything that Drake does now, it just gets worse and worse, you know. But if he would have just been like, you know, moved on, then I think that it would have caused everybody else to move on as well. But he didn't, and he fell into the trap. And I mean, I guess that's what Kendrick probably had an idea that was how he was going to do, because, you know, I'm Drake and I am spectacular, and of course I'm going to, you know, do this and people are gonna support me. But then Drake found out that, yeah, the people don't really like you like that. Honey, y'all was writing dissertations about why I shouldn't feel sorry for Drake. Let me just be clear. I don't feel sorry for him in the sense that I'm just like, oh, poor Drake. Oh, Kendrick shouldn't be doing this. No, I feel sorry in knowing that it is a lot when a lot of people don't like you, and when you get the pressure from the internet. Okay, it's hard. It's hard to get through that. A lot of the stuff he's brought on himself, and I understand that. But yeah, but I don't feel sorry. Like, I feel like Kendrick needs to stop. I just feel like, dang, this is a whole lot. Y'all know. But you ain't gotta write no whole long. Y'all ain't gotta do all that y'all be doing in the comments. I mean, you can if you still want to. I'm not gonna stop you from doing what you want to do and everything, but I ain't reading that shit. Because I'm just like, child, y'all really didn't wrote it. And then he did this. And then Drake said, and remember when Drake went to the this, and he said that, and he did this. I was, child, y'all, some of us need to just kind of get a little bit of our own life. A little bit. It ain't that serious. Rocky love y'all. Okay, y'all, let's move on to the last story. Lastly, you guys, I know I said I wasn't gonna put no politics in here. This really ain't really politics for real, you guys. But did you guys see Elon Musk's son up in that damn Oval Office? Yes. The baby name is something like X-K-O. Child, you can't pronounce the little nigga's name, but that little boy can't be more than 4-5 years old. He was in, first of all, why is he there? Okay. He was in the Oval Office with his father, Elon Musk. Okay. President Musk. And YSAP sitting at the desk there. And while Elon Musk was talking to the reporters, again, why is even Elon Musk there? Why are you guys destroying the sanctity of the presidential office by having these niggas just up in there? Okay, like, why? You don't have any respect for the damn seal, none of it, you know. But anyway, so Elon was there talking to them, and, you know, they were questioning him about him slashing all of this, you know, all of these different government programs, and here he is not even elected to be in there. So he was trying to explain that he's just trying to come in as a common sense person and getting rid of some things that just absolutely, you know, should not be. Again, unelected. But anyway, I'm starting to get too much into politics. Let's just laugh about this little boy, little X. So YSAP is sitting on his desk, and the little boy is standing over there, and he looking at him, and he got like this look of superiority on his face. You could already tell the little boy know he rich, okay, so wealthy, I should say. So he look over at YSAP, and he's whispering. You can't really hear him, but his mouth is moving, and they say that the little boy said, "Why are you here? You are not the president. You need to go away." He also told him to shut up. Some of the most disrespectful. I said, I know that damn YSAP wanted to grab that little boy and twist his ear or something, put him over his knee. But, you know, YSAP was all talking to him. He even put out a statement saying how little Lex is brilliant. You know, he's a brilliant kid and all that. But that little nigga was reading YSAP the whole time, and the shit was so funny because YSAP couldn't do nothing but sit there and take it. You know, he was mouthing something back to the little boy, probably was like, fuck you, because he looked like that. He the type that would do that. And that little boy was like, I don't know, my daddy did already told me, you know, it's just a matter of time. You know, you just kind of like the little figurehead or whatever, but my daddy is the one that's running the shit around here. That shit was so funny. I just kept on watching it. I was just like, oh, you could tell he just probably one of them spoiled ass, bad ass little kids that has no respect for nothing. He definitely not gonna respect nothing his daddy ain't respecting, even though Elon Musk said that he loves YSAP just as much as any straight man can love you know, somebody that's giving him carte blanche over the federal government, I guess. Okay, because that's what YSAP has done. He's let Elon just come in there and slash away. In the meantime, where the fuck is JD Vance? That's all I'm gonna say. Where is he? Because everybody is starting to ask. I've been wondering. We ain't seen him since the end of the fucking day. They were still running and JD Vance disappeared. So, child, it's all of it is what did Uncle Sam said? The greatest game, right? Greatest game of America. Anyway, that damn boy was funny as hell. He looked at, he said, "Why are you here? You are not the president." I mean, you know, a 4-5-year-old little boy don't know nothing unless he heard somebody else say that. He heard his daddy say that. He had to have heard his daddy say that. Okay? And he just went on there and said it too. So, I mean, right there, we already know what Elon's. Okay, I'm gonna stop. If y'all ain't seen it, go watch it. You're gonna get a good giggle. A good giggle. All right, you guys, that is it. I'm gonna run in here, get my sushi, and take it on back to work. All right. Turn my fan back on. We do this every single week, so make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.